They tried to drug me and steal $50 million using my face, so I handed them to SWAT instead. The hum of the industrial shredder was the only sound in the office, a low, grinding growl that vibrated through the marble floor and up into the soles of my feet. I stood in the shadow of the doorway, clutching a stack of freshly laundered towels, my heart hammering a frantic rhythm against my ribs. Through the crack in the door, I watched Richard, my employer, the man who had flown me first class to Dubai, who had promised me a working vacation, with a salary that could pay off my student loans in 6 months. He was feeding a small, blue booklet into the machine. I blinked, trying to clear the sudden fog in my brain. It looked like a passport. It looked like my passport. The one he had collected for safekeeping upon arrival at the villa yesterday, citing some vague nonsense about biometric security protocols. Crunch. The machine swallowed it. The gold embossed eagle, the pages filled with stamps from my semester abroad, the laminated ID page with my unflattering photo, all of it disappeared into a confetti of blue and white strips. Richard smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. It was the cold, satisfied smile of a man locking a cage. I backed away slowly, the towels muffling any sound I might have made. My mind was racing, trying to find a logical explanation. Maybe it was a copy, maybe it was someone else's, but I knew. In the pit of my stomach, where fear lives, I knew. I walked down the long, echoing hallway to the nursery. The twins, Leo and Mia, were playing with blocks. They looked up as I entered. Their eyes were cold, hostile. Daddy says you're staying, Leo said, stacking a red block on top of a blue one. He says you're going to be Auntie Claire now. Auntie Claire? I asked, my voice trembling. Yeah, Mia chimed in, not looking away from her doll, because the real Auntie Claire went to sleep, forever. The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. I set the towels down. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped them. I need to check on something, I whispered. I ran to my room. It was a beautiful suite with a balcony overlooking the Persian Gulf, but right now, it felt like a prison cell with a view. I locked the door. I dragged a heavy armchair in front of it. I grabbed my suitcase from the closet. I ripped the lining open. There it was, my backup, my lifeline, a second passport, emergency cash, and a burner phone I had bought at the airport duty-free shop. I was paranoid. My friends called me crazy. Who travels with a decoy passport? They asked. Someone who grew up in the foster system. Someone who learned early that adults lie, promises break, and the only person who will save you is yourself. But a passport wasn't enough. Not here. Not in a gated compound surrounded by desert and security guards with assault rifles. I pulled out the burner phone. No signal. Of course. They had jammers. I went to the balcony. I held the phone up, waving it like a frantic flag, searching for a single bar of service. One bar. It flickered. I opened my email. I had a draft saved. A dead man's switch. To U.S. Consulate Dubai, emergency services. Subject, urgent, American citizen detained/identity theft in progress. I needed to send it. But first, I needed proof. Without proof, I was just a hysterical nanny having a breakdown. I crept back to the door. I moved the chair. I opened it a crack. Richard was in the hallway, talking on his phone. It's done, he said. The document is gone. She has no way out. We take her to the bank on Monday. She fits the profile perfectly. Same height, same eyes. With a little hair dye and the sedative. The notary won't ask questions. Sedative. My blood ran cold. They weren't just going to use me. They were going to drug me. What about the kids? A woman's voice asked. His wife, Elena. They know the drill. Richard laughed. They know Auntie Claire is sick. She needs rest. Medical rest. Medical rest. That was code. Code for a coma. Or worse. I needed to record this. I needed his voice. I hit record on the burner phone. I held it up to the crack. What happens in the next 48 hours isn't just a waiting game. It is a psychological siege. By the time Richard realizes why the black SUVs are gathering at the front gate, he won't be worrying about the bank transfer. He's going to be worrying about an international incident that turns his private villa into a federal crime scene. Kindly follow on screen instructions for full video.